Hello everyone, Douglas Walt, Old Man Comic Book Reviews. So we missed a week. We didn't go to the comic book shop, but they still pull our comic books, and there was an inordinate amount. We have a lot of books, is what I'm trying to say. Before we get started, this is number 2 of the Red Band gimmicky thing for Werewolf by Night. I didn't care 2 whits. The first one we cracked it open. It sucked. I didn't like it. My wife wanted the second one. Now I don't have to open that one until she reads it. So we have a stack. Let's do our stack, shall we? Number 10 of 12 of Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries. And we have written by Amanda Dibert, art by Eric Owen. And the kids are on their way to a van expo. And Harley Quinn's in it. And there's not much of a mystery because they say Harley Quinn right on the cover. So I think that was a dead problem there. The artwork is great. It looks like old school Batman Scooby-Doo. Always a fun book. Always glad that they only charge $2.99 for the book. So more kids will read it. I was very excited to see that Barbarella is back. I was bemoaning the fact that I had not had a Barbarella comic in a minute. This one's called Escape from Planet V, scripted by Blake Northcott. Art is Anna Morozova of Magnus Arts. She wants you to know that. So, and the artwork is gorgeous. It's weird. It's like she's part of a TV show or something like that, like a reality-based TV show. So it'll be fun to see how that goes for her. Yeah, always good to have a Barbarella. Can't complain. No complaints there. I have plenty of other complaints. Don't worry. Number 2 of Ultraman Avengers, because they'll never give me a Marvel Kamen Rider comic book. No, I'm not bitter. Writers Kyle Higgins and Matt Groom. Artist is Francesco Mana. And so it's exactly what it is. It's the team up of the Ultraman crew. Tony gives one of the science police their own armor, Iron Man armor. There's giant monsters. They're building a giant robot to fight the monsters. And Galactus shows up to fight with Ultraman. That's an interesting concept, to be honest. So, it's fun. It's silly, but it's still fun. Nice to see that. Kamen Rider wouldn't kill you, Marvel. Really wouldn't. Birds of Prey, number 14, with the new All-In logo. I don't know what that means. Let's find our crew. Here we go. Maybe. Oh, is it in the back? Hold on, kids. It's in the back. Kelly Thompson is our writer. Sammy Basri is our artist. And the crew is undercover. To find out what's going on. There's some really neat art. I love this one here. This one. But and there's training. It's sort of a lull after the big epic multi-part adventure. They always have a lull issue, which is kind of fun. A couple of the girls decide they're going to fight Barda. That does not go well for them. It's for training purposes. That's all. Training. Always a good book. Daredevil, number 14. Saladin Ahmed is our writer. Luigi Zagaria is our artist. The art is gorgeous for Daredevil. It's really, really gorgeous. I like this thing lately. Birds of Prey, I think, did it before this, but where you have the constant motion of fighting like that. I mean, somebody else probably did it before Birds of Prey. Let's be honest here. But, yeah, Kingpin's up to some no good. Matt's having to deal with that he's pissed off Elektra. I said a swear. Yeah, Kingpin is doing something, and we're not sure what. And there's a monster. As always, Daredevil. Busy book. Godzilla Skate or Die, number 4. I like this book. Written and drawn by Louis Joyce. And our kids are just trying to save the things that they remember. That's their favorite thing to do. They're skaters. There's some wild artwork in this. Let's show you that one. I think there's another page I wanted to show you, and I don't remember what it was. But, yep. Find the big secret underground lair. Apparently, oh, here we go. They're talking about pulses waking every kaiju on the planet. Here's the page you wanted to see. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Such a good piece of artwork. Yeah, I see Biollante. He's in there. You're doing kaiju, you're going to get a Biollante. But yeah, it's a very big book. And we've got, I think, one more issue. The kids haven't actually interacted with Godzilla, but they've gotten close. It'd be fun if they did interact with him. Alright, here we are. Issue 3 of 3, the Luchaverse Catalyst double issue. Konnan, Konnan. Konnan and the Ambassadors, and Interludium, the Cosmic Shift. I was so excited for these books. The first 2 issues were great. So we have 2 stories. The first one is by Ivan Plaza and Marco Lopez. Script by Marco Lopez. Pencils and inks, Puis Calzada. Then the other one is story Diego Valenzuela and Kevin Kleinrock. Script Diego Valenzuela. Pencils and inks, Javier Cava. This isn't great. It's kind of, the artwork isn't up to the snuff of the previous 2. There's a little bit of luchador going on in the second story, but not a whole lot in the first. Rumor is that we're going to get new stuff next year. They threatened us with one. Where is it? I thought I saw a thing. Oh, well. It's alright. Oh, here we go. Tinenblast Jr. Tinenblast. He's the one with he's the yellow mask with the big black face on it. And Tinenblast Jr. called Luchacraftian Horror. So, kind of a lackluster end to a miniseries, to be honest. Alright, Hercules number 5. Whoop. We have Elliot Kalam is our writer, George Combadius is our artist, and Herc and Megra and Phil and the stone version of Athena are going to Olympus to find out what's going on, but nobody's there. There's some interesting things. Atlas shows up, which I thought was neat, and we finally find out who's up to all of this. And Herc's problem was he was just looking in the wrong pantheon. Still a fun book. The Amazing Spider-Man number 58. 2 more issues to go. I know I dissed on the next series coming up, but it sounds like it might actually be a little fun. Zeb Wells is our writer. John Romita Jr. is our penciler. Scott Hanna is our inker. And Tombstone is trying to kill his daughter. She's not his daughter anymore because she turned state's evidence. And Spider-Man shows up to save the day, and there's just so much fighting. So much. Like a lot of fighting. I think they're going to do nothing but fighting all the next couple of things. There is a Batman quote, Michael Keaton Batman, at the end of the book, which I thought was interesting. Alright, X-Men number 5. Ding ding. Writer Jed McKay, inkers, penciler is Ryan Stegman, inkers are J.P. Meyer, Livesay, and Ryan Stegman. Everyone's the same crew. We have, who is that? Psylocke? Is that Psylocke? Anyways, the artwork is fine. Stegman always gives us a good artwork thing. We have the 2 psychics, Psylocke and Kid Omega, going into a brain to find out what's going on and get somebody out of a coma, and there's some things you just shouldn't mess with, I guess is a good way to put it. So, it's a typical X-Men book. There's nothing new, crazy, or different in it. So, but we do find out exactly what's going on about how a group has just figured out how to make mutants. Still a good book. Phases of the Moon Knight, number 2. You get 2 stories, 2 different time frames. And let me get those for you. Nighttime in the City is the first one. Jed MacKay is the writer. So Jed MacKay, excuse me, he must not sleep. George Fornes is our artist. The second story is Eclipsis. Declan Shavli is our writer. Eder Messias is our artist. The first one is very OG Moon Knight. It's got it looks like an old newsprint, which I thought was fun, and he got to fight an old villain in the city who I think they made up just for this story. But it just reminded me of the old Moon Knight, which was kind of nice. The other one is set in the year 2846 with some future Moon Knight. It was okay. I mean, there's some nice artwork in it, but it was okay. And next issue, I'm excited because they're showing a Moon Knight with bunny ears. So we'll see how that goes. Moon Knight. Oh, I'm sorry. Phases of the Moon Knight. No, I told you there's a lot of books. We're almost done, actually. Almost. I'm going to save that one for last. Hold on. I'm fixing stuff. All right. Ending this one is Mangoat and Bunny Man 3 of 3. When last we left Mangoat and Bunny Man, they were in hell trying to stop Baphomet from making hell on Earth. Writers Joe Brusha. Artwork is Jordi Perez. It's always good. It's fun. It's silly. There's a lot of big splashy artwork. Is it Phil? Oh, did I just think that because it was... No, let's just call him Mangoat and Bunny Man. But I think Phil, I was channeling Hercules there. So, yeah. It's a silly... Mangoat and Bunny Man is just a silly book. And this is always, just a lot of fun. Godzilla Rivals. I've discovered that there's only going to be one more Godzilla Rivals after this. Since they're all issue number 1, no matter what you do, it's sort of annoying. Alright, written by Tom Waltz. Hey, he's got my last name. Pencils by Casey Maloney. Inks by Maria Keene. It's Mecha Godzilla versus King Ghidorah. Godzilla does show up. It's Atlantis. The city of Atlantis before it sinks into the sea. And they have to save the 2 sacrificial kids that are summoned to fight the evil in the world. And their names are Adama and Ava. And they are off to the new world with Godzilla. Yeah. Artwork was fair. Story's a little thin. That happens a lot with these. So we only get one more after this. They better make it a good one. Let's see. Oh, let's complain. Here we go. Power Girl number 13. Now look, what does it say? Power Girl. Power Girl's on the cover with her new boyfriend, who's from Asgard. They really have a lot of fun with Asgard. It's like they owe him money or something. Writer Leah Williams, artist Adriana Melo. She has a sidekick named Omen. Omen is going out to have a night on the town with a friend. There is no Power Girl in this book. The artwork is got some weird 90s image look to it, although they do draw feet. There's some new super person named Ejecta, but I buy this for Power Girl, and she's on the cover. That's it. It wasn't a great story. It's what we call a filler issue, kids. All right, I saved the best. Well, the best for last as far as comic books. I got one more thing to show you. The I Lie Popeye by Massive. This is our other Massive comic book. Massive also does the Lucha book. Story and art, Marcus Williams. That was easy. Story and art, Marcus Williams. So Sea Hag, they're trying to find out where Popeye's eye is. It has magical powers. And meanwhile, Popeye and his friends are picking up the pieces of the fight from issue 1. Pappy, Poop Dick Pappy shows up, which is kind of nice. We get a little backstory. Jeep shows up again. We do love Jeep. And we learn a little bit about how things work. They're explaining to us that everybody in this comic book are construct avatars. So they're puppeting these forms from the source, which is a space composed of radiant energy positioned near the center of the universe. So they're puppeting their constructs. Now here's the interesting part. They explain why Popeye can do what Popeye can do. Are you ready? It's a little technical because I thought this was awesome. Popeye has a source being like everyone else in the comic book. He is a source being. But upon digesting spinach, he can create a quantum entangled siphon of infinite energy from countless other source beings, granting him unlimited control over rendered reality across the spectrum. That's amazing that they're putting this much thought into a Popeye comic book. That they're going another step. That's why it's got that, like I said, it's got that Dragon Ball vibe. So very, 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 very fun. This is a great comic book. I hope it sticks around forever, but I know it's me, they'll cancel it. That's just how it works. So if you haven't gotten this, now's the time to get it. Alright, finally. In 1977, when I was a wee lad of ages, they made a Godzilla comic book at Marvel. 24 issues. Written by Doug Mensch, illustrated by Herb Trimp, and Tom Sutton. 24 issues, and they placed Godzilla firmly in the Marvel Universe. Here it is. Kong, kong, kong. Hardcover. Let me show you the cool part. Because rarely does the inside of the paper cover match the outside of the paper cover. Alright, are you ready for this? Are you ready? Okay. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. This is a great comic book. I remember this comic book fondly. I'm pretty sure I still have all my original issues in a box somewhere. But when they came up to me to give it to us this way, I was like, I must have it. So it's everything. It's not volume 1. This is all they did. 24 issues. The story, believe it or not, is done when the 24th issue comes out. It's over. They licensed their licensing. I assume since it's 24 issues, they had a 2-year license with Toho. And they gave us an amazing What If Godzilla Was in the Marvel Universe comic book. It's great. So now I have to tell Marvel, you made another comic book around the same time called Shogun Warriors about the toys Shogun Warriors. That was a fascinating comic book and deserves, I know it's not the same as Godzilla, but what are you going to do, right? So there you go. So let's do our count. There are many, so it's going to be a minute. I will be counting Popeye as a superhero for those of you that were going to ask. You got to have your superheroes. So Man Goat and Bunny Man, though, no, they are not superheroes. And remember, this is 2 weeks because we didn't go to the comic book store. Hercules is a hero, it says so in the song. Godzilla's not a superhero. Godzilla's not a superhero, get over it. Barbarella, not a superhero. Sorry. So, superhero comics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 superhero books. I think superheroes might be winning this issue. Episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5. 5 not. 10 yay. So, not a bad thing. Lots of superheroes this week. Last 2 weeks. This is a 2-week episode. I keep forgetting to say that. So, that was a lot of books. Thanks for sticking around and listening to the whole thing of me babbling. Listening to me complain about things that need to be complained about. Yeah. So, we go through this every week. Or every show. Let's just do every show, because sometimes I miss a week. Every show where you should go read a comic book. There are so many comic books out there. There's comic books about Godzilla. There's comic books about Popeye. There's comic books about Man-Goat, Bunny Man, Batman, Scooby-Doo, wrestlers, lucha wrestlers, Spider-Man, Power Girl. You can even get Ultraman and the Avengers. If you don't remember from previous episodes of the show, there were lots of Ultraman books. They did like 3 story arcs, and I think it was literally for no other reason than to test the waters to see if Ultraman could join the Avengers in a book. So, lots of comic books for everything you could think of. And you can read them online. If you prefer things like manga, you can always do that. Just a lot of different options for you. And then don't forget, once in a while, you get things like this. The nice thing about big books like this, these are expensive. This was a $100 book. $100. But I have a deal with Fanfare. They're a comic book club. You give them $5 a year, and they take 20% off all new books. So this $100 book became an $80 book. I'll give you $80 for this. This is a hardcover. Hear that? That was my hat. Hardcover quality piece of printing right there. So, because otherwise, this would, with the price of comic books, this would get expensive after a while. I can remember, because I'm an old man, when comic books were 25 cents. 20 cents was the first time I remember them when I was a youngster. So I could get 5 comic books for $1. You can't get nothing for $1 in the comic book world anymore. It's just not a thing. So, oh well. So, that was me rambling. Go find something you want to read. I'll see you next time. Go read a comic book.